Hello, I'm ABX and this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series on my channel where I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so across my channel. These tend to be mostly focused around the updated Quatic, which is of course the next update coming out for Minecraft on all platforms, but also just questions about life, the universe, etc. also come in, and this is my opportunity to respond to everything people have been asking me, and hopefully you all do enjoy it. So please do like this if you do like it, because that helps out the channel. Let's know you do like Q&A Saturday and like this weekly back and forth. Again, I think it's good to have like some proper outlet for all the comments that we get in a week, so that I can go through some of the big things, such as this very first question. And by the way, if you want to leave a question, leave it in the comments down below, because that's where people have questions from. But the first question comes in from Durgem Gaming, who says, Toycat, do you agree with the way Mojang is taking Minecraft with the updates? By the way, I'm so grateful for your constant, reliable news updates. So thank you so much, Durham Gaming, for that. I really do appreciate, reading comments like yours. But to answer your question, do I appreciate the way Mojang is taking Minecraft the updates? Honestly, again, I've said it before, but I really would have preferred if they'd have a more, consistent schedule. The official goal that Jeb said is to have 2 updates every single year. That way they can have those 2 updates go out on all platforms. They can guarantee everything, works across each other, and then they can welcome minor improvements for each platform as well as that. And although that sounds great, 2 updates a year, the truth is it's not what Minecraft had when it was at its peak of success, its peak of like being, playable in some people's opinions. I feel like, although Minecraft would be great, even if it had 1 update a year, Minecraft had an entire 2 years with pretty much no updates, but yeah, it was still entirely fine. So I don't think it's like an issue for the game, but I feel like, having more updates, being more ambitious, being like 2, maybe 3 updates a year would be a lot better. So do I agree? I think it's good that they now got something consistent, and if they keep having updates the size of the updated Quatic, I'm sure it'll be fine, but will we see that happen? It's not something I know right now, and yeah, I agree with the principle of what they're doing, but we'll have to wait and see how it actually plays out, because I'm sure, these things change a lot over time, and yeah, I like how things are going right now, because we're in the heat of like one of the best updates in the world, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes with 1.14 and then 1.15, etc., before I can be sure that I'm like 100% on board, because I'm still skeptical. So let's move on to the second question though, which comes in from Chicken Soup, who says, this did not appear in my sub box. It's not actually a question, but I wanted to get this out of the way because I've been seeing more and more comments across all my videos saying something like this, and this one in particular, like you can see, it has 10 upvotes, and the truth is like I'm really skeptical when other YouTubers say, oh, sub boxes are broken, I guess you'll have to follow me on Twitter, and then also follow me on Instagram to see the videos, and then also make sure you turn on the bell, and then also you're gonna have to donate to really, they'll make up some reasons that you gotta do to make sure you see the videos, but it does seem a lot of people are not seeing my videos in the subscription box. So if you do want to guarantee you do, again, if that's fine with you, then I guess you're probably not here, but if you want to see these videos daily on your homepage, or you want to see the Q&A Saturday or whatever, make sure you hit the bell. That seems to like, not only just trigger notifications, you can turn off notifications if you really want. It doesn't bother me, but as long as you trigger the bell itself, it will give like an increased status in the subscription box. So yeah, if you want to have that, I'd make sure to turn on the bell. And if you just don't want to rely on YouTube to guarantee what it gives you, because again, there's some issues with the way YouTube does stuff, then Twitter is a thing you can do. Again, you don't have to trust me, you can believe this is some weird conspiracy level thing, because honestly, that's a part of me believes that when every other YouTuber says this, but if you do want to guarantee it, then yeah, the bell is the best way on YouTube. And Twitter, I make a tweet every single time I upload a video, so that you can guarantee you'll see it in another place if you prefer to leave it to another social media. So yeah, that's an option you do have, because I know a lot of people, they want to see the videos, and for some reason they don't, and it's frustrating as a YouTuber when you see that, because, whether it's true or not, it's still frustrating to think like, wait, so I can make the videos that people want to see, but then sometimes they can't. And yeah, there you go. Let's move on to the third question though, which comes in from Pikachu 2006 Games. I'm really answering this because there's a cute Pikachu in the picture, but they say, Q&A, if Java gets 1.13 snapshots, why doesn't Bedrock get 1.3 betas? And that's a good question, because 1.3 is going to be equivalent to 1.13, as I'm sure you all do know. So surely if we're in like week 3 of Minecraft 1.13 snapshots, why are we not on even week 1 of Minecraft 1.3 betas? And why do we not even have any word on when they're going to be starting? So the truth behind this is that the Minecraft Bedrock team, despite being a lot bigger than the Minecraft Java team, they have a lot of things they're working on right now. So although they've stopped working on super duper graphics, they have still got to do Minecraft Switch. And given that they had to delay Minecraft Switch from November last year to December to early 2018 to like, please get this done soon. Basically they want to make sure that's done and properly done before they start really working 1.3, making sure they're doing beta fixes, because all their bug testers right now are working on that Switch version. So yeah, until their bug testers are done, until I guess Switch is insert and or basically released, you can't expect to see 1.3 betas. So yeah, at least this update round, there's going to be a delay between 1.13 snapshots and 1.3 betas. However, going forward, I'd expect 1.4 and 1.14, they might just line up the betas and the snapshots. You'll have like a week delay, but that's something we'd have to wait and see. They might have a different system, they might be following the Java team. We're not entirely sure yet how they're doing development, but that is the reason why there is no betas. So next up, I figured, given that a lot of people say like, like, Toycat, you spend a lot of time answering questions sometimes. I figured I would go for a quick rapid fire round and do some quick responses here, because 379th Hero says sharks, question mark. No, the answer is because of animal cruelty concerns, they said they don't want to put sharks in the game, so the new hostile mob is not a shark. The second one is, do you think Fortnite will influence Minecraft updates? And the answer to that is probably not, because Fortnite has like a drip feeding system where they release a bunch of stuff and then they do it week by week. Minecraft kind of does it the opposite way around, where they release it week by week because they're developing it week by week, and also they're just entirely different genres. And then finally, we have in the current snapshot, only stairs and slabs can be placed underwater without the ugly bubble thing. Will more blocks like trapdoors have this in the future? And the answer is yes. So there you go. There's rapid fire round. In case you ever thought to yourself, you know what, Toycat talks really slow, there was the rapid fire version of Q&A Saturday. So let's move on to the next question, shall we? Which comes in from hopefully lots of people, who says opinions on piranhas for the update. So my response is going to be that piranhas are probably the most interesting and perhaps the best idea they could have in this update. So why do I think piranhas would be such a great idea? I think because, okay, so first of all, here's what a piranha could look like. Don't you want to see that in the game? Here's a more realistic, like, you know, kind of how the rest of the fish are kind of piranha. And here is a hybrid of the, you know, like both those piranhas together. That's a real thing we could see in the ocean. So now, have I got you excited yet? Have these pictures got you in the mood? They hopefully have, and I think piranhas would be a great idea, because while they're adding all these types of fish to make fish feel like they're not just like, oh, there's 4 types and you randomly get them. No, they're real living things you can find in different oceans. Well, what if we made one of the types of ocean, you know, let's say the slightly warmer ones, what if we made them more dangerous? Or, you know, make the neutral oceans? Or what if we made these only available in rivers? You know, it's like a ode to like the, you know, the Amazon River. Like, I feel like there's a bunch of really great ideas you could do with the piranhas, and even if you just put them in all oceans or whatever as a rare feature, just the idea that there is a fish that can really attack you, that would be great, because again, we need more hostile threats. Maybe, you know, just the, you know, like just the brand new hostile mob that they've already announced is going to be enough, but I feel like more hostile threats equals more better, and given that we didn't get Mob A at Minecon, maybe piranhas are just a cool idea, and because again, it's such a simple one, but it's such a great one, in my opinion. So my official response here is, if we're going to see a new type of fish, which isn't necessarily too likely, I would expect the piranha to be somewhere up there on that list, right? That's my opinion. So yeah, because it's the most famous type of fish, right? So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Donut Big Boy, who says, what would you say to your longtime subscribers if you met them in person? So again, given that I am going to Mindfair in exactly 2 weeks now, as of this going live, it's like 2 weeks and a couple of days as I record this, but given that I am going to Mindfair and I'm going to meet some subscribers in real life, what do I say to them? So the funny thing is there's a lot of different subscribers you meet. There are some that, you know, like have, you know, watched like one video or vaguely heard of you. There are some who think they've heard of you, and I had this whole like issue where like someone once met me and they're like, oh, I love your videos, Toycat, and I'm like, oh really, which one's your favorite? And they're like, your Roblox ones, and I'm like, you have me confused with someone there. You know, at first I was really annoyed at the person, like, well, I kind of waste my time here, but on the other hand, they get to feel like they met their favorite YouTuber, and I'll just pretend that that's how that went. So yeah, there's subscribers like that, so you know, that's fine to deal with. There's subscribers who have like, you know, heard of me or watched the video or so, but what do I say to the really long time subscribers? I think they're the best ones to talk with, because we can actually have like a conversation about something Minecraft related or whatever. But I do recommend, if you are a long time subscriber and you are going to meet me, again, whether in Minnesota in 2 weeks or whether just you intend to meet me on the streets somewhere in London, please don't intend to, like, if it happens by accident. But yeah, if we ever do meet at a convention, what I say to people is like, bring something to talk about, because I'm going to talk about Minecraft otherwise. Like, oh, what do you think about this thing that we just heard? Because I like getting that kind of live, proper feedback. Like, the comment section, there's so much toxicity in there sometimes that it's tricky to get across stuff, but whenever I talk to subscribers, I always have a good time with it, and yeah, what do I say to them? Usually something like, oh, did you hear? They announced they're adding llamas to the game. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that's what I did last Minecon. But yeah, usually I talk about, like, something like Minecraft newsy related, given that I talk so much Minecraft news in the channel, right? I think it makes sense. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you disagree, but if you bring something to me to talk about, I'll talk about it. But if not, then I'm going to talk to you about Minecraft updates, because that's what I like to talk about. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Koi, who says, do you think a 5th type of fish should be added to be found in lakes and rivers? Yes, actually, they should add the piranhas there. So, no, to actually answer this question, it's like, because it sounds like you believe that fish, you know, right now, only spawn in oceans, and that's their main thing. However, salmon, at the very least, will spawn in frozen oceans and cold oceans, and I believe the other fish will sometimes, you know, they're either going to spawn there or they're going to get there, and even if they don't properly right now, you still should be able to before the final release. So should they add a fifth fish exclusive to those lakes and rivers? I think a lake fish would be nice, but the problem with that is that there isn't a proper lake system in the game that determines like what's the difference between like a pond and a lake. So yeah, should there be a fifth type fish for lakes and rivers? I don't think so. I think the existing fish work there just fine, but that's just my opinion, koi. Although maybe you're saying because you want like a fish for lakes and rivers, it should be a koi fish. I just realized that that's a type of fish that people have, right? So anyway, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Hipporus. Oh, it is Hipporus, and that's an odd one. They say, wouldn't survival be more about surviving if the season changed? So, for example, there could be long, sunny summer days where crops grow, and cold, dark winter periods with more mobs spawning when players must eat more food and no crops grow. So yeah, should there be a season system in Minecraft? Even though I think a lot of people hear that and they say, wait, that sucks, I don't want more mobs than to have to eat food. One of the ideas that I think it was Dinnerbone said very, very early on was he really wants to have seasonal changes in Minecraft, because again, it's like a big thing. The truth is like implementing them has been something that's always been pushed to the back, because again, the only way you can make season changes is if you add significant content for each season to make it different. Otherwise, you're just having shorter days, shorter nights, etc. So will there be seasons in Minecraft? They really want to, but unless one of the updates they do in the future, 1.15, the seasonal update, I wouldn't actually expect it. So I like the idea, but I think the practice would be bad unless they really finely tuned it and added new stuff to actually make winter exciting, because your winter, I mean, no offense, but your winter just sounds difficult, and I feel like they'd have to add new content for each season, but that's something they might end up doing, but we'll have to wait and see. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Vizo Gods, who says, Q&A, when would they add IP servers on Bedrock on the Xbox One, and why do small channels get less views? So to answer your question, Video Gods, they can't ever add IP servers on the Bedrock version, because every console, I believe the Switch is going to be the same, has a like requirement that every single external connection has to be like a confirmed, a verified one. That's why all of these servers are official on the Bedrock version as a whole too, because again, otherwise they would have no servers on the Bedrock and it would defeat one of the points. So yeah, that is the reason for obviously like only having the official servers. They could add a bunch of like officially approved IP servers, but again, they'd have to approve them in some way, and given the issues we had with Lifeboat before they approved them, like all that stuff, I'm just saying basically the IP server issue might not be resolved too soon. And why do small channels get less views? It's a really confusing question, because small channels are kind of defined because they have less views, right? Like if a small channel got a lot more views, then the channel wouldn't be small anymore, it would be a big channel, right? Unless you're measuring by subscribers, in which case, you can actually kind of argue that small channels get a lot more views proportional to their subscribers. Like, I have 850,000, actually just over 850,000, hopefully as you watch this video, subscribers, right? But, only, let's say off that number, only 100,000 even remember who I am or care, and, off that, like, only 20 to 50,000 will click on a video, sometimes even less, sometimes like 8,000 or something, proportional to that number, that's what, like 1% or something sometimes, because you have so many of those subscribers from long ago that just, don't remember, didn't care, forgot to unsubscribe or whatever. So proportionally, small channels have a big advantage in that way. Also because, you don't have an audience yet, you can kind of find one, whereas existing channels you have, and also because you can interact with your audience a lot more. So small channels might seem like, like they have it harder, but the less views thing is kind of only because they have less of a base to build on. They're still building that subscriber base. And also, the big thing about small channels, I want to give this advice because like maybe you're a small channel yourself, and that's why you asked this. The big thing I want to tell any small channel out there is that you have the biggest advantage on YouTube because you can interact with every single one of your subscribers directly. You might think, oh, the best way to do it is to leave comments up those videos. But no, the best way to grow as a small channel, and one of the things, again, I wish I could do it this size, but it doesn't really work anymore, is you can interact on a one-on-one level with every single subscriber, because if you have 400 subscribers, then when 20 people show up, you can talk to each of them individually. You can have like a call with them, you can have them to words and stuff, and that is your big advantage. Make sure you take advantage of it, because again, you'll miss it when it's gone. At least that's my experience of YouTube. So let's move on to the very last thing here, which comes in from Casper11116. I think I said too many ones. You know what? Casper11116 says, Q&A, how do you manage to get a punny joke at the end of every video? So the reason for those jokes at the end there is because I figured like, oh, it'd be fun to make people laugh. One of the things that I actually do a lot in real life, or not quite so much, but still now, is I'll always have like a few jokes on the top of my head that are just like out there and confusing and make people go, they make people laugh even though they feel a little bit bad afterwards. So like, what is a pirate's least favorite letter? And you think to yourself, and then you realize that a pirate's least favorite letter is one from his ISP telling him to stop committing copyright infringement. And for instance, like, why did the boy fall off the swing? Because he has no arms. Like the sorts of jokes that make you go, ooh, and they make you feel different. And one of my favorite types of jokes like that are bad puns, I guess dad puns or whatever, because they make everyone go, oh, that's bad. I don't and I don't know why there's that reaction to like really wholesome jokes. Like, again, it's a thing, right? People don't like those sorts of jokes, but they like them because they don't like them. It's a weird thing, people's reactions to jokes. So for the longest time, at the end of each video, I'd be like, let's just include a fun little joke here as a reward for people who make it all the end of the videos, because a lot of people on YouTube, they only watch like a minute for every video. It's really weird, but the average view time on my videos is 3 minutes 30 seconds, even though my average video is like 10-15 minutes sometimes, because a lot of people don't make it to the end. And I figured, like, as a little reward for those of you who do make it to the end, because those are the people I think I care about most on YouTube, I'm gonna be honest, I figured, like, let's put a little joke at the end. So at first it'd just be like, oh, here's the joke I have in my mind, here's the joke I have in my mind, but obviously I record like 12-14 videos in a week, so because of that, obviously I ran out of jokes. So the way I have funny jokes now, I have a few subreddits, one-liners, jokes, etc. I go through them and I'm like, oh, that's funny, and I'll make note of it, and I'll store it and then use it for later. So yeah, that's how I managed to get a funny joke at the end of every video. I love bad jokes, or at least jokes that like get people a little bit, and I started doing it that way, and now I have a few subreddits where I just find those jokes non-stop. So there you go, there's the answer to your question, Mr. Casper116. Hopefully you did all enjoy this week's Q&A. Please do like it if you did like it, because it helps out the channel. Let us know you do like the Q&A Saturday, share it if you really liked it, subscribe if you're around here, and again, if you want to, well, two things actually, leave a comment down below if you want to leave a question for next week. A lot of people don't realise that's what the comments are for anymore. Second of all, this is every single Saturday. I saw some more confusion about when Q&A Saturday was last week, and I know this is tricky. Like, what day does Q&A Saturday come out on? Like, when I see a thumbnail on Saturday, what is it going to be? And the answer to your question, it's Q&A Saturday, 9 PM UK time. Convert that to your local time. You'll never have to be confused about when Q&A Saturday comes out again. That's right. I know this was a big reveal, but it comes out on Saturday. And then finally, if you want to see the subscriptions, these videos, and you want to guarantee it, Twitter is my preferred way. But if you don't use Twitter or you don't care, just hit the bell. And even if you turn off YouTube notifications, like even if you say, I don't want to be notified in the middle of the night or whatever, just turn them off on your phone, but turn them on in the app or on the PC, and it should have the same effect as guaranteeing you'll see them, because you've told YouTube, like, yes, I really do want to subscribe. So anyway, with that said, I hope you'll enjoy this week's video, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.